DSC is a community and under which they are running a program known as Android Study Jams. It will run till 25 January and you will also be given the content powered by the Google and like also the certificates which will also be provided by the Google. About all those things, we will let you know in detail after this session. All the links, all the resources will be provided to you. Okay, so Android Study Jams will continue for more than a month and we will conduct at least 3 to 4 sessions to cover every aspect of becoming a great Android developer. Okay, so in this particular first session, we are going to start from scratch only, as most of you present here might be from first year without any programming experience. Okay, so first let me give you the overview of what lying ahead for you in this session. Okay, so this is the schedule for today's session. We will start from the introduction, which is right now also going on. And in that introduction, I will also let you know about the solution challenge or lots of things. Okay, after that, Mayank will cover like about Android, like what are the Android devices and what is iOS devices also, and what are their reach and all the scope and all those things about Android. Okay, after that, we will cover programming language as a Kotlin and all the basics and fundamentals about the Kotlin on how to get started. As you know, like you have also learned C, C++, and C will also be there in the next semester, some of the branches, and some of the branches might be learning it right now. Okay, so Kotlin is actually the official language of Android. All those things will be covered in the next part. After that, we will give you the course overview, like how it is going on. This is the first session and how we will get up, like how you will become an Android developer. Okay, after that, we will cover like what is the software used to build an Android app, what is Android Studio, how I need to install it, how we will cover that, and how we will make a first project, build an app, and all those things will be covered there. After that, we will show you how to build your first app and then just celebrate for this session, and all the things will be covered in the future sessions. Okay, so this is the third slide. Okay, so this is like Android Study Jams. I have already told you like what are the Android Study Jams. These are like study groups powered by the Google to become an Android developer. So Android Study Jams has 2 tracks. Okay, so one is for the people who doesn't have any programming experience, and the other one for people who are very well familiar with programming languages. Okay, so in the first track, you will learn basics about Kotlin and basic things about the Android, like how to install Android Studio and make some basic apps. Okay, like Hello World and making color changes, making some layout will be covered in this first track. And in the second track, we will be making some fascinating Android app and we'll make some complex functioning app also, like involving the database, like how all these things work, like Instagram, WhatsApp, you have, these all cover like lots of things are there. And they have design, they have like proper theme and UI UX, they have database, they have data analyst, and all those things are there. Okay, so in the second track, you will get a glimpse of all those things. Okay, so now let me give you a glimpse of what is solution challenge. Okay, so I have already told you like what is DSC. Okay, so DSC also conducts one competition, solution challenge, every year. Okay, so solution challenge is like, it is an annual contest that invites students from all across the globe to make some impacting projects which can solve some existing problem of your local community. And all those things are done by the DSC students. Okay, so from all across the globe, all the DSC students participate in this competition and they select top 10 projects as the winner. Okay, so let me show you the video. I think audio might not be heard by you all. Okay, so just see the video and we will also share the link in the group so you can also watch it later. Okay. Okay, so as you have seen that this is all about the solution challenge. It is a competition which is conducted every year and from all over the DSC students participate in it and top 10 are the winners. So now let me show you. Yeah, So this was the project from our college, from our DSC NITJ, which won that competition last year for the DSC 2020 by the name MyCamp. So now just let me give you a quick glimpse of what it is and what it is doing, so that it has won that competition. So MyCamp was the first thing, was the only project from India also that has won that competition, which aims at helping the college students to get all the college services and the resources with ease. Okay, so I can show you the video, but right now I think some problem is there because of which you can't get the audio. So we will share that link in your group, and you can watch it later, and you will get the claims like what it is doing. And it is just an Android app which was just made by our DSC NITJ students. Okay, so now I will show you the next slide. Okay, so after that, what is DSC, what are Android study jams, and all those things, let us come to the point. Okay, so what is Android development and why you must try it? Why it is there are lots of things out there: web development, Android development, machine learning, and all those things. But what makes Android development a must to have? Okay, and how you will get started to becoming an Android development. So from here on, what is Android development? My mate Mayank Dwivedi will carry on. So Mayank, please.
Yes, I'm switching on.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot.
So is my video visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mayank, you are visible.
Okay.
And yes, guys, you will get the PPT of whatever the content we are covering. You will get the PPT also in your group. Okay, fine.
Okay, so the PPT is visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So hello everyone. Good evening. I am Mayank Dwivedi from. Excuse me, Shikhar. Is there something wrong? My connection is right.
Yes, Mayank.
Okay.
Yes, man. Carry on.
It's working.
No, everything is right, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Just inform me if the connection doesn't function properly. Okay.
Sure, man. Sure.
Sure.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Again, I am Mayank Dwivedi from EC second year, and I have been learning Android development since second semester, and I am also a core team member of the DSC, which you heard about. What is DSC and all, as Praveen sir told you. So now let me carry on forward by telling you what exactly Android development is. As you can see from the screen, we have categorized the application, mobile application generally in these basic 6 categories. There may be more categories. So multimedia, social networking, travel, utility, entertainment, location. You all have definitely used all the apps of all these categories, and I'm sure you are quite familiar with the platform because you might be carrying one in your hand right now. So, so first of all, let me tell you what exactly Android is. It's just a formality, or you can say. So Android is a software which runs on various types of devices like phones, tablets, TVs, watches, cars. Android is owned by Google, and it is an operating system basically. So now I think you are all familiar with all these kind of apps, and I don't think I need to remind you how many times of day you switch between these apps and enjoy them. So we are here to make you learn to build apps of this kind so that you can compete with them. By the way, I think Netflix has a huge competition with Telegram. Anyways, moving on forward. So we have categorized 5 reasons why you should learn Android development. But apart from all these reasons, first of all, I would like to say the main reason why you must learn Android development is out of interest. I know all of you are highly interested in coding. That is why you are present in this session, first of all. And if you have some inclination towards Android, definitely you can attend the Android Jam. We'll be conducting session till 25 January. And you will definitely get the basics of it clear so that you can dig deeper into how to learn Android further. So let's concentrate on these 5 reasons. The first reason, open source. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with open source development. So let me frame to you what exactly it is briefly. So there is a website called as GitHub. Maybe some of you might have heard GitHub, GitHub. So GitHub is a website which is very famous for open source development. What exactly it does is that if suppose I have to make a project, be it Android web application or any other kind of project, and I don't have enough team members to collaborate over it. So what would I do is simply make a repository or a GitHub and post my project over there, and then approach people from all over the world to contribute towards it. So what happens now is that I posted my project over there, and other people are viewing it. And if they find it interesting enough, they would definitely contact. They would definitely see the features which you require them to develop for you, and develop the code, and ask you to merge the code in the project. So this type of development is called as the open source, in which the people from all over the world are allowed to contribute, and it is like very common among the people who are in this field of coding or development. The first years might not know it very well. I guess that I have explained you what open source is. So Android, if you learn Android development, then you can make an open source project. You can put up your project over there and collaborate with the people all around the world. Or even if you have learned Android and want to practice it, then you can just go on GitHub, search over the different kinds of project profiles, and see what is the practice which you need. Like if you have learned Android and then you want to practice over it, just go to a project which interests you and then start developing it. It's good for you. So second thing is most obvious. Develop an Android project with the help of a team, or even alone, and then post it on Play Store. So posting on Play Store is simple. You just need to have a Google account, and you need to pay an upfront fee of around 5,000 rupees. I'm not very sure. And then you can post as many apps as you like. Okay. Now third is job opportunities. And companies you might be knowing that companies are definitely looking for developers who know Android development. And but there is another way in which it helps in job opportunities, that is during placements or interviews. So what you have to do is get your resume over there, and you need to include some projects in there. So for development of those projects, you can learn Android and apply your skills in it, and show it to your interviewer, or and hence increase your chances of getting a job. So therefore, this is one point. Then other is the impact on society. You can create some app which is helpful for society in various different ways. I don't need to specify more. I think freelancing. This is a very interesting piece of advantage of Android development. Freelancing sites like freelancer.com, naukri.com, and other kind of websites provide you the opportunity to use your talent to build Android apps for other clients and get paid for it. So, for example, if I've learned Android now, I can just go on to Freelancer and then see which project interests me, and I can contact the client and start developing it for any amount of money which you say. So, freelancing is a very good option in Android development, and most people who are freelancers generally opt to go for Android development. So these are the 5 basic reasons for practicing Android development, and I think I have made enough for you to get interested in it. Okay, so along with Android, you can include various technologies as demonstrated over here, like ML, cloud, IoT, AR, VR, artificial intelligence. It means that in your app, you can include these technologies as well. So if you learn Android, then you can show the implementation of it through the implementation of these technologies, these right here, in your applications. And that's why Android is a very helpful method to do so. And then hackathons. This is a very interesting point. So there are various hackathons conducted all around over the internet. You know it very well. So you can build a team, make a project on Android, and then submit over there for review, and hence participate in many hackathons, including this Google DSC solution challenge. As sir told you earlier, you can make Android app and submit over there to solve a problem. So, okay, so now how do you get started in Android? So Android Study Jams, which we are conducting right now, as I told you earlier, will continue to 25 January. You'll have all the opportunities to learn the basics, get it clear. We'll be using the Kotlin language. We'll be using Android Studio. And in this session, you'll be able to make your first app right after the session, like literally. Okay, so now bear with me here, guys. There are many people in this group. I'm sure there are about 70 to 80 people in this group who don't know nothing about programming because they're from first year. That is why we need to get them to know some of the basics. And here they are. So first, program is a series of instructions given to the computer to perform some functions. So the next thing which is important in programming is compiler. So what a compiler is. Compiler basically is a thing which converts the human readable source code into binary so that computer can understand and execute the instructions. So therefore, there can be many types of compilers out there, and there are like tons of compilers are available out there. And depending upon the type of compiler, there are different languages used for compiling through it. So those languages are given here like C, C++, Java, Kotlin, Python. Many of you have already learned some languages as you showed in the chat box. Then what is the syntax of a language? So all the rules which you need to follow while pursuing a particular language is called as the syntax of the language. Then libraries. So this is a very important point, guys. The people who are new to coding often get confused about what exactly libraries are. So libraries are nothing but a piece of program which is continuously used in many different types of projects. So, for example, if I'm using a part of a program always, then why should I write it from the scratch? Nah? Like, why should I always write it and always implement it in every program that I write? If it is being used very frequently, I can just save it somewhere and give it a name so that even other people around the world can use my work so that they can save time. So this is what exactly the purpose of libraries, and this is what a library is. It is just a piece of program which has specific functionalities, 5 to 10, 15 functionalities, and they are used in various processes among the different projects which we do. As you grow, you'll learn more and more libraries and be able to use them in the projects. Okay, so I hope this much introduction for programming is clear. Now, types of programming language. Here we'll only give you an overview of these two types. We can't dig deeper into it, guys. I know you want to know more about object-oriented programming language and procedural programming languages, but since we are focusing more on Android, therefore we just need to go overview over it right now, and later we'll explain to you in detail. Okay, so these are the two types, procedural and OOP. Procedural is the one in which the instructions are given in order in which you want the compiler to run it. Obviously, some of you in the first semester might be learning C language, and some of you will learn in the second semester, first year students. So C is a procedural language. Object-oriented programming is very common and is the most famous. Object-oriented means, as the name suggests, objects. So there are things involved in the program which are called objects and classes. So classes are basically the blueprint, and objects are the different kind of instances which we create out of that blueprint. So like all of the humans here have the same skeleton, but we all look different, right? Similarly, class is the skeleton, and the individual person we have is called as the object. So this type of development is called object-oriented programming, and we'll go in detail about it later on. So the languages which are OOP are Java, Kotlin, Python, etc. So Kotlin, which we are going to use here, is an object-oriented programming language. So more about mobile app development. So as you know, there are two types. Basically, there are more types, but there are two types of software: mobile, Android owned by Google and iOS owned by Apple. So what happens is that the people who code only in Android or the people who code only in iOS are called as the native app developers, and the process is called native app development. But there are some platforms or frameworks where you can code once and run it on Android as well as iOS. That type of development is called hybrid app development, and the developers are hybrid app developers. So I don't need to, we are definitely going to focus only on Android. We'll be doing native app development using Android Studio for Android only. We'll not be focusing on iOS, obviously. So, but let us just get into what iOS development is for a brief while. So iOS development use Swift or Objective-C as the language, and the IDE is Xcode, and Android Studio is used for Android development, and we use the language Java or Kotlin. We may use any of the language, but in Android Jam this time we'll be using Kotlin. Hybrid app development, it is cross-platform. Both it can run both on Android and iOS. So in Android development we use Java or Kotlin, as I told you earlier, and we use XML for layout design. How the screen will look to you is called as the layout, and hence to design the various elements, where images will be, where the buttons will be, where the image views, text views, and all those kind of things will be. We code those things with the help of XML. Okay. And similarly for iOS development, we use the Objective-C language or Swift language, and the software used for its development is Xcode. So Xcode is corresponding to Android Studio. Okay. And hybrid app development, we can use the frameworks called as React Native, Flutter, or Ionic. So these are the three most famous for hybrid app development, and the most famous among all is this, Flutter. Flutter, owned by Google for cross-platform. It uses Dart language. Trust me, Dart language is not very easy. It's a complicated language. And then Flutter can be Flutter can be used in desktops and laptops as well as web apps as well. So it is kind of very useful. But one disadvantage of using Flutter is that there are certain features which you can't use. Like there are certain features which Android has, certain features which Apple has in iOS, and therefore you can't combine them together because of hybrid app development, and that's why people stick to native app development usually. There are a lot of features which we can't implement using Flutter. So I hope I'm clear about mobile app development. There are two types, hybrid and native, and we are going to do native in Android. Now, this is the most famous question of the decade, I'm telling you, after when will vaccine come? Kotlin versus Java. So Kotlin versus Java, basically the fight started about 2 years ago when Google officially changed the language for Android development from Java to Kotlin. So now the official language is Kotlin and not Java. So Java status is gone. Kotlin is free language. Java is also free, guys, but it is owned by Oracle, so we don't know if it might get paid later on. Then we are 100% sure that we'll be getting new features of Android in Kotlin all the time in future. Java also, Google has promised to give the features, continue giving features to Java in Android. But since I told you that it can get paid, therefore Google can pull out its support from Java. So it is not sure, but still, nothing is going to change in for like next 2 to 3 years. Okay, so the main disadvantage of Kotlin is that Kotlin is not very renowned in other domains, and Java, on the opposite, is very, very famous. It is used almost in like 70-80% of the companies and all the different kind of frameworks they use. So, and also the most important thing which affects us directly is that Java, if we learn, we can use in placements, but Kotlin we can't use in placements. So why the hell are we teaching you Kotlin? So the point is, Kotlin and Java are very similar, guys. If you know Kotlin, I'm telling you, you almost know Java. There is only a little bit of syntax difference and a little bit of OOP difference between the two languages. But overall, both the languages are completely same. Kotlin is an advanced version of Java, you may say. It saves code, the length of the code, and also there are some different errors related to Java, like null object references and all those kind of things. So it is an improvement over Java, and they both are almost similar, like 90% similar. So if we learn Kotlin here, since it is official, we have to learn Kotlin. It will, don't worry that you can't learn Java. It is very easy to switch from. So definitely in Android Studio, in Android Study Jam, we'll be using Kotlin. So now I'd like to call Shikhar so that he can give you and take you directly to what Kotlin is and directly get to coding. Shikhar?
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry
thank you,
to
ma'am.
interrupt you, Shikhar. I just want to
Yes,
correct
sir.
one point. So guys,
Yes, ma'am.
many of you might be feeling like we are covering lots of theoretical part and not doing hands-on practice, like building an app, Hello World. Just please show us like how to build it, Hello World, Android Studio. So please bear with us. We want all of you to be on the same page right now. Many of you might be aware with the coding, but many of you not. Okay, many of you might be using, have not used ever the Android apps or something. Okay, so please bear with us for that. After that, covering all the fundamentals of programming language, how to do it, what is function, printing, and all those things. After that, we will go to the hands-on practice. Okay, so bear with us for that time. And Shikhar, you carry on.
Okay, thank you, sir. First of all, let me share my screen. Okay, so is it visible, guys? Mayank, hello.
Yes, visible.
Yeah. Shikhash.
Okay. Hello, guys. So this is Shikhar Shrivastava, and I'm from IC second year, and I have been developing Android apps for like 1+ years. I have been working on a lot of community projects, group projects, freelancing projects, a lot. And I am also the core team developer in Dev Students Club in IT Jalandhar. So, first of all, thank you to Praveen sir for introducing us to
Hello, Shikhar.
development
Is my
and
voice visible?
the
Hello,
Google
Shikhar. Is my voice audible?
Yes,
Shikhar, do one thing. Just close your
yes, sir.
video.
Yes,
for
sir.
me.
You are audible.
Actually, it's kind of laggy. All right. So I think your voice would be clear once you close the video. Yeah.
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Mhm. Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, Shikhar. It's better. It's quite
Hello?
better. Yes, Shikhar. Am I
Okay,
audible?
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Shikhar.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so I hope that my screen is visible now. So without wasting any time, I'll be directly coming up to the presentation. And if one of you can just Mayank, is the PPT visible? I hope that is. Hello?
It is visible. It is
It
visible.
is visible, Shikhar. Please go on.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Admi sir and Mayank. So, guys, after the most debatable question of the decade, as suggested by Mayank, Kotlin versus Java, I think the second most debatable question in the Android development world should be what is Kotlin? Because a lot of developers, almost all of developers, were using Java for developing Android apps. But later on, they were introduced a new programming language known as Kotlin. And a lot of confusion arises, is this programming language good or not? And we have already discussed those facts. Now, we will now dig more deeper in understanding what actually Kotlin is and how it is different from the programming languages you might be knowing till date. Let's suppose C or C++ or Java, and how it is different from them. Okay, so Kotlin is a modern programming language that helps developers to be more productive. Now, of course, developers will be more productive when they will learn Android development. That's my personal opinion, because Android development, as Mayank told us, integrates a lot of big world technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc., in a very convenient way. Suppose uh, if I ask you what you prefer, searching a website or just simply opening an app and doing everything. So most of us prefer Android apps over opening a web app or something. Just take the example of WhatsApp or Instagram. Okay, so Kotlin it really helps us in building those Android apps, because it is also now the official language declared by Google. So what are some benefits of Kotlin? It is expressive and concise, as Mayank told, that you need to write only few lines of code to do the same task that you had to write a lot in Java. It is safer to code with Kotlin because it is free, and also it has a brighter scope, and it is interoperable with Java. If you know Kotlin, you will definitely easily understand Java, and vice versa. It has a structured concurrency. Okay, and Android development is Kotlin first. Now Google has declared Kotlin as the official language for developing Android apps. So that also makes it very, very important in this Android development domain. And yes, the most exciting thing that you are going to witness in this entire, you say, course, the course that is that has to be provided to you from Google. They have created this Kotlin playground. I will show you, and you can simply go and write your code on that website and just run and check how it works, and basically develop a deeper understanding of Kotlin. Okay, so now coming to the main point, we will be starting with some Kotlin basics, which will be helping you throughout this 1 month duration. And I hope that since you have had some understanding of programming languages, you will ace Kotlin a lot, and who knows, maybe it becomes your favorite language and you start doing very good stuffs in this. So let us start with some basics. Okay, so the first question arises, what does this code do? We are able to see a fun keyword and then a main declaration, opening and closing of curly braces, and this print line statement. Now, what is this? For those who have had a prior experience of coding, they might be knowing, okay, this is some kind of declaration in this particular programming languages. So what we can see this, it is very interesting that if you write this much of code snippet and run it in your Kotlin compiler, you will get this output. Now, I am not trying to fool anybody here. Let us discover this ourselves. I hope that my new tab is visible. Can anybody confirm? Adamya sir, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, Shikhar. Visible.
Okay. So thank you, ma'am. Okay, so here you can see the Kotlin playground, which I was telling you about. And when I run this statement, let's see what happens. Wow, you can see that when we run this statement, we are getting this output, hello world. Now, come on, guys. Hello world has been so contemporary, and so many people around the world have been using it. So we will write hello Android study jams. Okay, so that's what we are doing right now. And let's see what changes happen. And yes, you can see now that it is a very easy task for somebody who has had some programming experience, but for newbies, it is something new. Okay, you can have as many print statements as you want. Also, there is a slight difference when we use print statement. Okay. So first I will use print statement and then use print line statement and show you the difference. Okay. So when we use print statement, notice one thing. Both the statements, hello Android study jams and Shikhar, are printed in the same line. Now what happens when I use print line? Very fascinating. When we use print line, then in naive words, we can say that the compiler presses an enter key, or that is the other statement is being displayed on the second line. Now, I want to explore Kotlin more. So I will create another, let's say, function. Okay. So this time, tell me something which I should print. Let's print DSC and ITJ. Okay. And okay, we will make this also print line. And a very important concept in programming, be it any language you are using, that is function calls. So let's see what happens. Wow. So you can see in the function main, I didn't directly write to instruct to print DSC and ITJ. Rather, I called a function shix, and the shix function basically does a task that is printing DSC and ITJ. So when the compiler tries to compile this code, the compiler first prints this hello Android study jams statement, then Shikhar statements, then the compiler sees this function, gets inside the function and prints DSC and ITJ. Okay, I hope I am clear, and we will be moving forward. Okay, so fun keyword indicates a function which is a section of program that performs a specific task. Okay, guys, so as I told you, using functions, we can perform a specific task inside the program. Suppose our program has a very big code base, but it is composed of small functions which are performing different tasks. Okay, and print line is a predefined function, that is it has already been stored in the library. And whenever we use print line, irrespective inside which function, which class, anything, and whenever we use print line, it has only one task, that is print whatever is given inside. Okay. Now these are the parameters, and the return types. Parameters are the values of the variables that are passed inside the function. Then we are performing an operation to these variables A and B. We are adding them and returning them back to the function. Okay, So this entire fun add will return the value of a plus b. Similarly for this. Okay, now what are immutable variables and mutable variables? Mutable variables are declared with the keyword var, and they are used to store values as well are used. But the basic difference between var declaration and var declaration, that is mutable and immutable variable, is that we can change var variables. We can reassign them multiple number of times. Suppose here the counter value is 5. Now I make counter 6. Tomorrow I will make counter 7. Anything I can do. Okay. In some part of program, I will redeclare it to, if a certain condition meets, I will redeclare counter to 0. I can do anything. But when we declare a variable with the keyword var, then it becomes a constant for entire program. We cannot reassign it. And if we do, then we get an error. We will also use them. I will show you. Okay. So very important thing. We will look at it. How to assign something to a variable. We have declared var, length is the name of the variable, and then we have assigned the value 5. So one great thing about Kotlin is we don't need to actually use data types. When we assign an integer value to a variable of any name, then the compiler automatically understands that it is an integer value. Okay. Suppose I have written 5.0 here, then the compiler automatically understands that it is a double or a float. Okay. And similarly, when I assign something between these two quotation marks, the welcome word, then it becomes a string. So the compiler automatically understands itself. Now let's use them. I hope that it is visible. And so now I will show you one more exciting, and it is adding comments. Okay.
Shikhar,
So when we use this,
excuse me, Shikhar,
Hello?
your voice is lagging.
am I audible now, Mayank? Hello?
No, it's not clear.
Hello? Okay, wait a minute. I will be
Now it's clear. Now it's clear.
trying to reconnect. Okay. There might be some network issue, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So is my screen visible? Hello?
Not yet.
Hello?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
Shikhar, it's visible, but your voice is lagging a little bit.
Is there,
Yeah, Shikhar, can you tell me the slide number at which you were presenting? I think I can little bit carry on.
Okay, sir.
Till that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the slide number?
It was slide number 37. Sir, 37. Okay. Only 2-3 slides are remaining in that part. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you a lot.
Okay. So, guys, is my PPT visible to you?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So, I think we were there, right?
No, before it.
At this?
Sir,
I think we can start from here. Okay.
Yes, this one.
From conditional statements.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, let me tell you, like Kotlin, you are learning like println, how to make a from one line to second line, and how to print in the consecutive lines after, like, if you're written hello Shikhar and then my name is Shikhar. Okay. So in the line, right, then you will use println, otherwise print. Okay. So this you are saying like there is if, else if, and else. Okay. So these are like conditional statements. So let me just give you overview from the like practical applications. Like let's say you are doing something and you want to guess like if this is the case, then I will do this, and if this is the case, then I will do this. Let me give you a practical example. If I get above 90% exam 90% in the 10th board, then I will select science stream. Okay. If I get 80 to 90%, then I will select commerce. If I get below 80%, then I will select arts. So what you are doing, you are making some conditional choices that if this is the case, then I will do this. If this is the case, then I will do this. Else I will do this. Okay. So else, what is else? else is below 80%. Whatever it is 70, 80, 60, 50, whatever it is, you will do select arts. Okay, if it is between 70 to 80, okay, then you will do select commerce. If it is above 80, then what you will do, you will select science stream. Okay, so fine. So similarly is the in the code. So we are making simple cases, like if my score is less than 20, then I will do println low. Okay, what it will do, it will just print low. If your score is less than 70, what it will do, it will select medium. Okay, otherwise it will print high. So it is like conditional statements. If this is the case, I will do. So in this, there is no need to print only as if. Okay, you can also like can show you in Kotlin Playground. Okay, so like if I will declare one variable score equals to 20. Okay, so if score is less than 30, then I will do println hello less than 30. Okay, I will run it. Okay, so you can see this was the println. It will print without any case because we are not providing any conditional statement here. Okay, after that what we are doing is we are declaring one score. Okay, it is 20. You can expect it like if it is 80, then what it will do. Let me know in the chat box that what you guys are expecting, that what it will print. Just type in your chat box what will be the output. So is anyone following me? Yeah, just type your answer, whatever you are expecting. Okay, error. So most of the answers are like error or hello world. Okay, just let me run it. Okay, so guys, hello world. Okay, so I have shown you that it will print unconditionally this statement. This condition first line is not depending upon the later one. Okay, what compiler will do is it will start from the first line and it will print this statement. Okay, then it will come to this statement and it will store that value 80 in score. Okay, so what it is doing is it is just instead of score, it is doing this thing. Okay, it is less than 30. Is it a true or false? It's false, obviously. So if it is like it is false, okay, so what it is doing is it is false. Okay, if it is false, then it will come to this statement. It will come here, and here we have nothing to do, so it will not print anything. Okay, what if we have like here 20 and we provide here a score is less than 20, less than 30. So what we'll do is now it will do here 20 and 20 is less than 30. Yes, it is. Then what it will do, it will make it true. Okay, so if it is true, then it will print. So what will be the output now? I will show you. The score is less than 30. Okay, I will print it and it will become, yeah, less than 30. You can see. Okay, so similarly, let's say I do else if the score is less than 25. Okay, so println less than 25. Okay, and I will make it 22. Okay, so guys, just let me know in the chat box what you are expecting. Just let me know in the chat box what will be the output. Okay, and guys, please don't forget about the hello world. It will be obviously printed. Okay, fine. So are you guys like, many of you are saying that less than 30. So are you guys forgetting about that, or you are just considering, yeah, it will be there? Yeah, right. Yeah, many of you are guessing the correct answer. And you guys can also, like, I have shared the link. You can just put it and write that code. So I will run it. Okay, so what you can see, like, score is 20. So what it will do, instead of 20, it will check 20 is less than 22. Yes, it is 20 is obviously less than 22. So it will print ln less than 22. Okay, if it is true, then it will not come to the else if. Okay, so let's say I am giving here 23. Okay, So the output is less than 25. Okay, so can you guys imagine like what is happening on in the background? What it is doing is it is printing the score 23 in the score and it will become 23. Okay, so what it is 23 less than 22? No, it is not. It is false. So it will skip from that statement to the else if. Okay, so here it will check now. Is 23 less than 25? Yes, it is. So it will become true and it will print less than 25. Okay, so now what if like let me just back to that score and let me make it 28. Okay, so what will be the output? Yeah, hello world. So can you guys now imagine like what is happening? Like 28 is 28 less than 22? No, it is not. So it is skipping to the else if. Is 28 less than 25? No, it is not. It is skipping to that part. So now what we will do? We will make one else statement. We will write down here println less than anything. Okay, so now let me know like what you guys are expecting the output. Yeah, correct. Now you guys are guessing the correct answer and might be like understanding some fundamentals also. Yeah, you are correct. It will print like hello world and then it will print println because 28 is less than 20. No, it is not. 28 is less than 25. No, it is not. Else now it will not check for any conditional statement and it will print less than anything. Okay, so I think conditional statements are clear to you like what they are doing. We can like put if condition is necessary, otherwise you can like do this thing also. Else if is not necessary, else is also not necessary, you can also like do it like this. It will also work, but you can't do this. Let me know what is the output of this statement. Like I have written function main score equals to 22 else if score. Like what you guys are expecting. I have already also explained it. Yeah, right. It will generate an error because if statement is necessary. Okay, expecting an element. So what you will do? Just if. Now it will work. Yeah, right. Okay, so let me come to the PPT and it is like here also when. Okay, so it is like classes. I think so guys, just let me know first, like is it going like beyond your scope? Like are you guys catching it all? Then only like we will make you through like classes and all. Otherwise we will skip to the Android Studio. What? Yes, like are you catching all like it's easy? Okay, then I will cover like classes. So what is classes? We are like what we were going through. This was a function. Okay, it is a function. Okay, and
Hello,
it is
Ravi.
coming under. Yeah,
Ravi,
hello.
some of them had some doubts. Just give me 2 minutes. I want to clarify something.
Yeah, sure.
Guys,
sure.
some of you were asking me, like all of us, like what are brackets used for? So यार brackets जो हो रहे हैं ना, जो आप देख रहे हो curly braces को आप बोल सकते हो. What are curly braces doing? वो आपको scope बता रहे हैं. Praveen, can you just skip to that PPT? क्या आप कोई भी एक function या फिर कुछ दिखा सकते हैं PPT में?
Yeah.
If else वाला हाँ guys, तो जैसे आप ब्रैकेट्स देख सकते हो, कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स बता रहे हैं कि उस इफ स्टेटमेंट का स्कोप कितना है. लाइक अगर स्कोर 20 से कम हुआ, लाइक इसको आप सिंपल इंग्लिश या हिंदी या फिर जो भी आपकी भाषा आप चाहो उसको उस तरह से रीड करो आप. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ एल्स इफ और एल्स स्टेटमेंट जो है, इफ मतलब अगर स्कोर इज लेस देन 20 और ब्रैकेट का मतलब देन क्या करोगे आप? प्रिंट कर दो लो. जहां ब्रैकेट खत्म कर रहे हो तो वहां उसकी देन कंडीशन खत्म हो गई. एल्स इफ वरना स्कोर अगर लेस देन 70 देन क्या करना है आपको? प्रिंट करो मीडियम. और आप देख सकते हो एल्स इफ के बाद जो कर्ली ब्रेसेस हैं उसके अंदर प्रिंट एलएन मीडियम है सिर्फ, मतलब बस उतना करो. अगर उसी ब्रेस के आगे अंदर आप 2-4 और स्टेटमेंट कर देते और वो कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई जाती. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर स्कोर 20 से कम होता, इफ स्टेटमेंट आपका चलता और प्रिंट लो के नीचे आपने प्रिंट योर नेम लिखा होता, तो प्रिंट लो भी प्रिंट होता साथ में और योर नेम भी प्रिंट होता. तो जो कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई होती है उसके आगे जो भी ब्रेस लगे हैं उसके अंदर के सारे स्टेटमेंट चलते हैं, वो उसका स्कोप डिफाइन करता है. जैसे आप फंक्शंस देख रहे थे, जैसे सर ने बताया आपको, तो वो फंक्शन मतलब फंक्शन इज एनीथिंग व्हिच परफॉर्म समथिंग. लाइक वो फंक्शन का कुछ काम है, उसको बनाया गया उसकी, और जो भी ब्रेसेस के अंदर उसका होगा, जब वो फंक्शन को कॉल किया जाएगा, जब आप उस फंक्शन को बुलाओगे, जब उस फंक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करोगे, तो उसके अंदर का सारा जितना भी लिखा है ब्रेसेस के अंदर वो सब एग्जीक्यूट हो जाएंगे. आई होप आई एम मेकिंग माई सेल्फ क्लियर यार, ठीक है। कोई भी और ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, मतलब छोटी छोटी चीजें प्रोग्रामिंग की, कोई भी और प्रॉब्लम आ रही है तो आप बता सकते हो, और Q&A में आप पूछ सकते हो सीधे, चैट बॉक्स की जगह Q&A में डालो एक बार, ओके। Praveen, please continue. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Guys, just make me one point more clear. Many of you are from like C++ background or Java. So you might have seen like after every statement, we have to put a semicolon. Okay. So here you are saying that println, after that, at the end, we are not putting any semicolon. So, okay. So Kotlin has that advantage that you can skip semicolon in those print and on those statements. Even if you print semicolon, it will not show error. Okay, apart from that, Kotlin, if you try that in Java and you don't put semicolon, it will generate an error. Okay, so you need to put a semicolon in those languages, but Kotlin has an advantage that you can skip that thing. And if you're like very familiar with other languages, then you can put semicolon as well. Okay, so this was the point. After that, okay, classes. So classes is like you have seen like functions. Okay, functions are put in one class. Okay, so functions are like sub functions of the classes. Okay, in the classes, what you do is let's say there are like very big projects. Okay, let's say an example of WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp, what it is doing is it is making your storing your data in various other objects. Okay. So what it is doing, let's say you are a user and your details are like your name, your mobile number, your nickname, all those things are there. Okay, and there is some other user which has details. So how they will store that details in a very well manner? What will they do? Will they do like making a variable like name, username, and those things? What they will do, they will simply make a one class, user class. Okay, in that user class, they will make some variables, their name, nickname, and all those functions which will do the work for them. Okay, so class is like set of all the variables, all the functions from which you can expect some outcome. Okay, so here in this example, we have declared one class as square, which is taking as some parameter. It's as side and it is of type int. Okay, after that in it we are defining that square class as value as equals to square 10, and here 10 we are passing that square in that class. Okay, and then we are doing println as dot side. Okay, so as you might have not like getting much familiar with it, as it is a OOPS concept in which like we make classes, object, instances. So don't get like worry. We will cover all those aspects later in more detail. Okay, so here it is comes like many of you were waiting for like hands-on practice for making some Android apps. Till now we have covered like lots of concepts about Kotlin and how to write your like hello world and all those things printing. And here in the Android Studio, we will make you familiar each and everything about like what you have to write, what logic you have to write, like how you will show your text, how you will print something, how you will make designs, and all those things. So Android Studio is the software in which you will learn to make Android apps. Okay, so for doing anything, you need some software. If you are like editing something and you need Photoshop, and if you are playing some game, like for that you need PUBG in your mobile, or if you are like running YouTube videos, you need browser. Okay, so similarly to build an app, you need Android Studio. Okay, so it is a like layout you can see in that image. Here like lots of things are there. It might make you puzzled up like what it is. It is showing some image, like lots of things are there, lots of files are there. What it is, we will cover each and everything in detail. Okay, so these are the steps given, like how you can build an app. Okay, so first what you will do is install the Android Studio. Don't worry, we will send you the link from where you can like get the steps, all the steps in which you can download the Android Studio, and we will solve all the doubts if you're facing any in the group. If anyone is facing any doubt like how to this step is not, Android Studio is not installing correctly in my setup, and anything, we will cover that in WhatsApp group. We will not show you like right now downloading the Android Studio and show you like how to install it. Okay. So after installing the Android Studio, what you have to just do it simply, you need to make some new project. Okay. After that new project, you need to give it a project name. And after that, you need to select like, as Mayank has already told you, like there are two languages, Java and Kotlin, to make apps. You will select whether you will continue your making your app in Java or Kotlin. After that, you will select a template. Don't worry, these 4 points I will explain in detail. So here it is. Like the first step was to like create a new project. Okay, so when you will after finishing the install, it will look like similar to this. Okay, on the top you will get an option start a new Android Studio project. Okay, don't worry, we will also show you the live demo also, but first we want to cover it in the theoretical. After that, we will show you the in the presentation board, we will show you same live Android Studio, make a project and run it. Okay, after selecting a start new Android Studio project, a window will pop up which will ask you to select some activity. So what is activity? Activity is like it will contain your design as well as your business logic. Okay, activity consists of 2 files. One is the design and one is the business logic. Okay, so here a list is given of all the templates like empty activity, bottom navigation. These all things are like you will learn later. So first we will simply select empty activity. Okay, so these are the details to configure your project. Like similarly, like if you're installing any app, then you are asked to log in and provide all your details. This is similar to for your project. Okay, you need to give some name to your project. Okay, so let's say Instagram. Okay, Instagram has name Instagram. So similarly, we need to give our project a name, and we are giving it as my first project right now. Okay, after that you are saying a package name is there. So what is package name, guys? Package name is like to identify your app uniquely on the Play Store. So what you guys just do is on the Play Store, if you share a link of any app, you will say it starts with like com.example.whatsapp. Okay, so it is a like package. It is a unique address to identify your app on any Play Store, App Store like this. Okay, so it will identify your app uniquely, just like you use domains for your website. Okay, after that, save location, like where it will be stored in your setup. After that, you will select the language like Java or Kotlin. After that, there is minimum SDK. Okay, minimum SDK is showing like which version you need to select. Android Pie, Lollipop, Marshmallow, Nougat, Oreo. But here it is a point. Okay.
Excuse me, Praveen, sir.
Yeah. Yes,
sir. Many people are complaining that video is blur, so they can't see.
Video is like presentation.
Yes. Presentation. Sorry, presentation.
Actually, text is very small in it. So we will show you a demo in the later part. Okay, so don't worry if it is blur also, like you might not be able to read it. We will show you the demo also, and you will be able to like see what is happening.
Kevin, right can now, we like, kind of zoom and see, like, is it possible to zoom in? Like, just try, I'll tell you if it's timing. Please just try to zoom in once.
No, I'm zoom.
Okay. I think something is happening.
Is it?
We will have a demonstration after.
All right. It's not doing, Praveen.
Like, I'm zooming, but it is not working.
Yeah, I understood. Okay, guys. Guys, we will demonstrate it later. Don't worry. I think zooming is not working because the entire window is being protected. All right. So it does not depend on the person what he's doing. The window is being protected. That's why it's not zooming in. Don't worry. We'll provide you, in direct hands-on implementation on this. So don't worry right now. Just understand what sir is saying. Please continue, Praveen.
Okay, and also one thing, like you can zoom in from your side. So if something is very small, you can just zoom over there with the help of. I mean to say from the participant sides, you can definitely zoom from that side. Okay.
Yeah. So guys, we will also like share the PPT in your group. You can also check it later after this session. Okay. So I will try to like cover it. Will say each and every word. Okay. After that, here it is written as minimum SDK. In the minimum SDK, you need to select like whether you want to build your app for the Lollipop, Marshmallow, Nougat, Oreo, or Pie, or any other like Android 11 or something. Okay. So there is one case. Okay, like let's say you are selecting it as Android Lollipop, Android 5. Okay, so what will happen? It will not cover all the features that are like only unique to the Pie. Okay, it will cover from the features that are Lollipop has, but it will work on all the later versions of the Android. Okay, if you are selecting Lollipop, then it will also work on Marshmallow, Nougat, Oreo, Pie, and whatever the upcoming generations will come. Okay, but if you select Pie, then it will not work on the lower versions. Okay, as it might have like like Android 11 has dark mode feature. Okay, but so if you start using that Android 11, then it will not work on the lower sides Lollipop Marshmallow, as they doesn't have that feature. So I think it's clear. So after that, like saving all those details, you will select on finish and your project will be made. And this video will window will pop up like with your two files. I think it might not be visible to you, but here it is written Android activity main.xml and main activity.kt. These two are the files which were created from that. I can show you from that empty activity. When you select empty activity, it makes two files. Okay, one is the activity main.xml, and second is the main activity.kt. So let me tell you like what it is doing. What is active.xml file? What is .kt file? Okay, so yeah, what is the main activity? Main activity file is a Kotlin file which contains all your business logic. Like if you are doing, like let me show you here. Like it is a Kotlin file. Okay, it is a Kotlin file. You can name it whatever you want. In it, you are printing, you are doing some conditional statement, all those things. So main activity will contain all the logic related to your Kotlin. Okay, all the business logic. Like if let me take you the example in Instagram. In Instagram, on the front page, what you see is like it has feed. At the bottom, it has 5 buttons like home, reels, add, search, and all those things. Okay, so if you're clicking on one button, then it is navigating you to the other page. Okay, so it is doing some conditional statement. Okay, so whatever this logic will be present in your main activity file, and the design like 5 buttons are present at the bottom, and in between it there will it will contain feed. All the design will be contained in XML file. Okay, so design part will be in the XML file. All the logic will be in the main activity file. Okay, so now let me tell you like in the bigger, it's a very beginning of the project and there are only 2 files. In the later part, what will happen? It will contain hundreds of XML files. Okay, so how a KT file will identify that I need a layout from this file? Okay, actually there are 2 files and we need to connect them. Okay, that this is the layout and this is the business logic, and please stay together. Okay, so what we will do in the KT file, we will define that you need to fetch the layout from this file. Okay, so I think it might not be visible, but it is just simply calling a function set content view. I think here it is visible, set content view, in which we need to pass the layout of that file. Okay, so what is the name? r.layout. And activity main. Sorry. Okay, so here it is like main activity. I think I'm clear to you. Like it is containing all the business logic, and the activity main.xml is containing all the logic, all the design. Here you can see like hello world is present as a text. So it is a layout files also has like 2 designs. One is a design pane in which you can just drag and drop your layouts like buttons, text, image, and all those things like fancy stuff. Okay. Apart from that, like if you have second tab in which like you can code. Okay, code like I need to make a font of 19 size, make a font family of this size. So all the things will be code. Okay. So it is like what is layout? It is an XML file. XML is also like a language in which like you make a code for your designs. It is used to design a screen or a part of it. We can design layout graphically as well as by writing code in XML. As I have already explained you, this is the like graphically making a design, and second is the like writing a code. We will show you this as well. Okay, so actually please don't get like confused in this. This is a very complex structure, but we will tell you each and everything in detail. Okay, so here it is like, and the top you can see like it is written in the manifest folder. There is a file android manifest.xml. So guys, let me explain it with the example. As you all have mobile phones, in the mobile phones what you have is settings. Okay, lots of apps, and there is also setting. If you want to change like permission for one app, like permission to switch, make the camera on for that app, what you will do, you will go to the settings, select that app and give the permission. Okay, so similar is the case here. If you want your app to give permission for the internet, you will define it in that file, android manifest.xml. This is the file. Okay, so in the manifest you are giving a permission for the internet, camera, or anything. Like in the setting also, like you have an option for about phone. where it is written like what is the name of your mobile. Okay, so similarly here in the Android manifest we have that label. Okay, in the label you define what will be the name of your app. Okay, and what will be the icon for your app. Like you see that in your mobile app and in the small icon for your app. So if you will also define it here. So Android manifest is like a settings for your app in which you will get all the things like or what are the screens present here, like WhatsApp. Let's say example of WhatsApp. WhatsApp has, let's say, 50 screens. Okay, so all those 50 screens will be present in the manifest. Okay, we need to tell manifest that these are the 50 screens you need to make design on. Okay, if you are not defining it here, it will not be present in your app. Okay, I think it is clear. Whatever the resources you are using, you need to give the details to the manifest that, hey, manifest, I'm going to use it. I need a permission for the internet to use in my app. You need to teach and tell everything to the manifest. Okay, I think it is clear. We will also see like later when we will do hands-on practice, we will add the permission for the internet. We will add the permission for the camera. We will change the name of our project. If you want to give your project a name like WhatsApp, then you can just change the label from my first project to WhatsApp. If you want to change the icon, you can also like change from icon. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let me first go back to the file structure. Okay, so I think first one is clear, like Android manifest.xml. Okay, so after that, in the Java folder, you are seeing that main activity and message fragment is there. Sorry guys, it is the like we have taken a screenshot from one of our previous project, but in the new project you will see only the main activity. Okay, main activity.kt. Okay, so what it is doing, first let me tell you about like what it is, like com.hfad.navigation.setup. It is written in the Java folder. So what it is like a package name for your project that, if you remember, we have given that in that screen, package name, right? So it is the same name that is coming here. Spelling might be different, like because of the screenshot, we have to a screenshot from different places, but it will be the same, the project name. Okay, in that project name, all will be the files coming here. At the bottom of it is written as Android test and test. These are the files auto-generated by the Android Studio. So you don't need to take care of anything. These are files defaultly generated by Android Studio. You don't need to write anything. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to delete it. Do nothing. Just do all the code in that main activity. Okay. After that, there is a one folder, as might be blur. I'm telling you, but it is a RES. It is a resource folder. Okay, under that lots of folders are there. One is drawable, second is layout, third is menu, fourth is map, fifth is values. I will cover each and every folder, like what is the use of those folders. Okay, so drawable. As you see, like Instagram has at the bottom 5 buttons. Okay, and it has for all the 5 buttons, it has some icon. Okay, so from that icon is coming. Is it coming from the URL of some image? No, it is present in that project. Okay, so we need to, like, whatever the images we are using, we need to store them in the drawable folder. Okay, in the drawable folder, we will like simply, like, you have PNG image, just drag and drop it in the drawable folder, and it will, and then just give the path to that image in your file. Second is layout folder. Layout folder, I have already explained you, like we have activity main.xml file in which we will make the design of each and every file. Okay, so that file will be present in the layout folder. Okay, after that we have menu folder. Okay, let me tell you about that. As you all of you have used WhatsApp. Okay, on the WhatsApp, on the front page, what you have on the top right corner, 3 dots. Okay, when you click on the 3 dots, you get an option like new group and all those things. So all those things for that menu, it is present in the menu. We will cover it in the later aspect, that is not needed right now. Map is also like, it will cover the icon of your app. Okay, and the values folder I will show you. Okay, so values folder is like getting other little resources. Okay, so like string is like whatever, like I can show you, like here. Okay, here it is, you are using a variable score equals to 28. Why you are using? You don't want to make it like a fixed one. You can't, like, you don't want to do it like as 28 less than 22. You want to it variable and use it every place wherever you need. Okay, so similarly is the like string folder. We will define all the strings here which are needed, will be used globally in the XML files. Okay, so here you can see there is a one string defined as app name, and it is by the name my first project. So this string is like going to be used globally. In any of the file we can need it. Okay, so we are defining it here, string name, app name, my first project. Okay, so these are like simpler variables which we can use in any file globally. Okay, second we have colors. As you know, like WhatsApp has green color. Okay, dark green color. It has some theme. It also uses like light green color also and white color. Okay, so these are the some standards for any app. Like some uses green, some blue, some purple, some red. Okay, so whatever the colors you are using, you just need to give the hexadecimal value for it. So from where, how you will get the hexadecimal value of any color, we will provide you the link. There is one site of material. Okay, I can okay, skip it for now. We will show you the link, send you the link, and from that you just need to select the color, and it will give you the hexadecimal value of that color, and you just need to copy that value of color and need to put it here. Okay, so let's say like you have a hexadecimal value of red color. Okay, so you just need to get the hexadecimal value of red color, and we'll define it color name equals to red, and then value is hashtag and that color. Okay, as I think you might have like learned it in your earlier classes, for the black color it is like hashtag FF. Okay, for the white color it is hash 000000. It is a like 6 value hexadecimal number. Okay, so this is the layout. I have like covered all those things, like what is Android manifest.xml, what is where Kotlin files are stored, where drawables are installed, where like layout files are stored, where colors, strings, and styles are stored. Okay, all these things are like might be a little complex to you, but we will like doing a hands-on practice, and we will like doing editing all those files, it will become clear. Okay, so only for that reason we are telling you in a little detail right now. Okay, so it is a like very good stuff. Okay, so it is present in the Gradle. So let me tell you what is Gradle. Like whenever you are building an app, it takes nearly about like 3 to 4 minutes to generate your app. What it is doing is you are writing a very little code. It is not necessary to build an app. Okay, so what Android Studio is doing is it has like lots of libraries, lots of plugins already there. It just uses your code and builds an app from there. Okay, Google has already written like lakhs of lines, millions of lines of code. It just builds your app from it and generate a Gradle builds all those things, do all the stuff in the background and builds your app. Okay, so now let me show you like what it is like build.gradle. Here it is like written like Google JCenter. Please don't get confused. It is like we just want to show you so that if you are using it on your own in the Android Studio, you don't get confused, like overwhelming, like what it is. I'm not getting any word. So just I also like don't understand what these things are, but you need to just like keep them together. We will also like here you can see in the dependencies path, you can see class path build.gradle, and then one is class path jetbrains.kotlin Gradle plugin. Okay, so what it is doing is it is fetching the resources from these links. These links are like at these links lots of resources are present. It is fetching the resources from there only. Okay, so second file is build.gradle. Here if you remember in that file we have selected like Android version. Okay, if we are selecting 24 as the minimum SDK, so these things will be stored in this file as it is written in that, like what is the application ID. It is like package that you remember we have given at the time of building an app, and the minimum SDK version that we have selected like minimum SDK version, and then we have code version, what will be the version. Okay, so Mike has also told you that there are like GitHub projects from where like you can get like use the work of other people. Okay, let's say there is a one plugin from which you can use the calendar. Okay, so what you will do, you will get that plugin, get the URL and add it as the implementation. Okay, we will also cover that stuff in the second session. Okay, so stay tuned, and after that I will also show you run the app and we will show you the live demo. But before that, I need to show you, like many of you were asking, like if we don't have Android device, then how to run that Android application and test it. Okay, so for that Android emulator is used. what is Android emulator? Android emulator comes with the Android Studio, and in which like you can run your Android app on your laptop only. Okay, you don't need any Android device. Okay, so what you will do from the Android Studio has one setting, AVD Manager. From AVD Manager, you just need to download, like you download the Nexus, you want to download the Pixel, or whatever the emulator you want to download. It is just a copy of your mobile APK which will run in your Windows. Okay, Windows, or like if you have Ubuntu in your Apple, anything, it will work. Okay, Android emulator you can download. So similarly, like you are doing anything in your mobile app, like playing a YouTube video, playing WhatsApp, running WhatsApp, Instagram, anything, you can run any app in your emulator. Similarly, whatever the APK you are building, you can use it in the Android emulator. So you don't need a physical device. But what a disadvantage it has, like for the people who have not good enough laptops, it will slow it down more. Okay, your laptop will hang a lot because it is using a very extra resources. So what we will do, we use it on the physical app. Okay, so for that you need a lot 3-4 steps to run your mobile app on your physical device. Okay, so first step is like what you do to need a USB debugging. It is like one setting in the mobile app which you need to enable. After that, after plugging your mobile with a USB cable to your laptop, you can run your project, and it APK will be installed in your physical device. Okay, so I'm telling you in a little brief. Okay, so what you will do, if you have Android app, Android mobile app, you will go to the settings of your mobile, and in the settings at the bottom you will see about phone option is there. In the about phone, if you click on that about phone, you will get a option by the software. Okay, after that it will have an option of build number. Okay, if you click on build number for the 7 times, you will it will enable your developer options. Okay, so now you can search in the settings developer options, and then it will have an option of you enable. Okay, if you click on USB debugging, it will plugging your USB with your laptop, you can start building your app APK, and it will install it on your physical device. Okay, so now Shikhar will show you the live demo of building an APK from the Android Studio and in the Android Studio Live. Okay, so
Okay.
Shikhar,
Am I audible, sir? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so if there exists some network problem again, then do notify me, sir. So I am
Yeah.
sharing my screen. I hope that it's visible. Hello?
Yes, Shikhar, carry on.
Okay, guys. So now we will be looking at this Android Studio software. Don't worry, you will be given the download link from where you can download. Just now I'm going to show you how it looks basically and how you start a new Android Studio project, because many of you guys were saying that it was not clear. So from here we will start a new Android project. By default, it has been selected empty activity. Then we say next. Okay, now we will change the name of our app. Okay, we will make it Hello World app. Okay, I hope it's visible now.
Shikhar,
Yes, yes.
would it be possible if you would just project this Android screen, like your entire screen is being presented? Is it possible to just project your? this
No, sir.
screen?
Yes, sir. I tried it, but
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Please
Okay.
go on.
Also, like,
Okay, so
Shikhar, if possible,
Yes, sir.
like zoom your Android Studio to make the full screen.
yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
think
I will.
Yeah.
Now is it fine? Okay.
Is
So
it full screen?
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Okay. So I have changed the name of my project, and I have selected Kotlin as my language, API level as Oreo. Okay. So now I will finish it. As soon as I finish it, it starts loading my project. And what basically we get, as sir explained you previously, we are getting an activity main.xml file and a main activity.kt file. So this main activity.kt file is used to write the business logic. Now, what do we mean by business logic? That is the backend of our app. How suppose if you are clicking on a button, what will happen? If you are clicking on an icon, then what will happen? So on. Okay. And this will be our activity main.xml file. It is taking, I don't know why so much time to load. Okay, so let's discuss about Android manifest till then. Okay, so I hope that it is visible. And this is Android manifest. We declare permissions in Android manifest. Like you can see that we have automatically described the main activity, and also when main activity is declared as launcher, launcher basically means which screen will open first. So in our case, the main activity XML file will open first. Okay, and here we can declare permissions, camera permissions, and internet permissions and all. Okay, why is it taking so much time? Okay, so there are some processes running. It will take some time. Okay, we will not bother about it. We will be looking at Gradle. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, you are
Hello?
audible. Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So what is Gradle? Basically, there are two types of Gradle. There is an app level Gradle and a project level Gradle. So what we do in app level Gradle is we define certain things like what should be our SDK version. Like suppose you are having latest Android mobile, so your SDK version would be higher. That is, you will having an Android version of higher level, like say Android 9 or Android 10. I'm having a 1-year-old phone, so I will be having Android version 8 or something. If somebody has an Android phone of like say 4 to 5 years ago, then they will be having Android version Lollipop like 5 and so on. So basically, here we define what minimum SDK version should our app target. Like if minimum SDK version is 26, then above from 26 to 29, everybody can open their Android phones. That is from the people who are having Android versions in their phone as Oreo to the people who will be having any latest Android phones can be able to view our app. Okay. And when we come to dependencies, here we can you are saying these implementation and things. So whenever we add a dependency and when we sync with Gradle file, Gradle basically helps in downloading all the files related to that particular dependency. Like suppose in future we will be using certain features from GitHub as servers telling, like suppose you want to make upload a circular photo like we see in WhatsApp, your DP, or you want to make different things. So you can use different types of dependencies for those features, and all the files related to those features will be downloaded. Okay. And it sometimes it also takes a lot of time in configuring things, like just now it is doing with my case. I don't know why, but let's not worry about this. And the other is the project level Gradle. Okay, so in this project level Gradle, we declare things about our projects, like what repositories we are using. And when you will be using Firebase is basically it basically takes care of the backend of your app. Like you are storing something on cloud for your files. Like when you use Instagram, you can upload your images and all, and everybody can see it. So Firebase basically helps you doing these stuffs. And when you will be using it, you will be required to add some Firebase files here. So that's what these two Gradles are different from each other, and we use them for different purposes. And also let's explore some more about the these project directories. Hello. Yes, sir.
Hello, sorry to interrupt, Shika, but please can you
Yes,
while
sir.
in the meantime run that app and show them in the emulator, or in the physical device, so that because it will
Yes,
also
sir.
take
Yes,
us
sir.
some time.
Sir, actually, sir, sir, it is. I don't know why it is Gradle is downloading some Kotlin versions or updating it, so it is taking some time. Can I show it from a default app I have
Yeah, yeah,
created?
yeah,
Okay.
sure. Otherwise,
so I
like
will
you can
tell you.
also run it, or if you have like Hello World app, you can also show it.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to. Actually, this is some network issue with my case because
Yeah.
Gradle basically operates with your internet. So as soon as you open a project, Gradle starts updating files. Okay, fetching things that it has previously stored on the backup. So as my internet is running a bit slow, so I hope that's a problem with it. Okay, so now I hope it will start indexing. Let's try opening. Okay, so here you can see uh, this was a Hello World app we were trying to create. I have thank God I have created it beforehand. So here this is a text view. What do we mean by text view? Any text that we are going to use in the app screen is known as text view. Okay. So here I have written Hello World. I can also change the color. Okay, so who likes red? Let's use red. Okay, let's find any red. Okay, here is red. Okay, so I changed the color. It is so simple. There are actually certain predefined colors. If you don't want to use it, you can also use like any hexadecimal value. Like this becomes orange. Okay, so now we will try running this app. For running your app, you need to basically follow those developer mode steps as sir mentioned, and then you need to connect your app through your laptop via USB, and then you will see this option. If I'm not able to zoom it, but you can see here it is written Oppo CPH 1909. I hope that it is visible. So here you can see run app button. Okay, there's a small triangular green colored button. I will run my app and let's see what happens. Okay, there are some processes running. You can see in the bottom. And as soon as the build finishes, I will show you the output.
Guys, just believe me, like
One more
Android
thing,
Studio. 1 second, Shika. Android Studio takes
Yes,
a
sir, yes, sir.
lot of time in building. It is a like very heavy software for your setup also, and Gradle also like takes a lot of time. Okay, if you have like normal computer with Windows and all those things, it will take some time, 3 to 4 minutes. Gradle takes to build your app, and after that it will be installed in your mobile, and you can just do testing. Okay, so this is the stuff like it is a very heavy software. Okay, carry on, Sigo.
Okay, don't know why it's not visible in my device.
So guys, first just let me know in the chat box. Are you guys like just get tired, or you guys want us to continue?
Okay. So guys, I will be showing you the output in my phone screen. Okay. So for that, I will stop presenting and open my video. Okay. So I hope that I am visible and I will show you my phone. If it is visible, you can see that Hello World app is created. Okay, and you can see that I connected it via USB, and I just created this app using Android Studio. And then when I run this app using Android Studio, it got installed in my device automatically. And here you can see the output. Okay, so that was all, guys. We will be giving you the link to download Android Studio, and you can create similar apps. And believe me, you can create a lot more and add images and everything. We will be teaching you in the upcoming lectures, and we will stay tuned with you. So over to Praveen sir, and he will wind up
guys. So I know like you guys are attending the classes from the morning, and so just we are like wrapping up all the stuff, and here we have like told you like lots of fundamentals about the Kotlin language, why you should prefer Kotlin or Java, what it is, what is Android, what it is targeting, what are the resources. Okay, so now let's just show you about the I will present the screen. Okay, I think screen is visible. No, this one. Okay, and this one. Okay, so these are the resources from which you will carry on and learn. I will share the link in the group also. Like these will be the resources. From here you will see that it has 2 units. It is a track 1. Okay, in the track 1 you will see like Kotlin basics for Android, and second is the layout. Okay, in the first unit you will learn Kotlin, and the second you will learn about the layouts, like how to make a design of your app, how will you can like make the form stuff. Okay, so I will start like unit 1. In the unit 1 it will consist of 4 parts. Okay, 4 parts. First is the introduction to Kotlin, second how to create your first app, third is build a basic layout, second is like add a button to an app. So it will be like complete pathway. You don't need to explore, go to the YouTube and search anything. You just like explore. Okay, first part will be this. So here like it will contain all the resources in the video form, as well as like code labs. Okay, I will show you one code lab. Like it is a like take code lab, write your first program in Kotlin. Okay, so it will be like a very it will start from here. It will be text. You can just carry on like whatever they are asking, do it. They will mention all the resources, modify your program. Okay, and then extend your program, whatever they are asking, just you need to do it. Okay, you will learn a lot from there. They will cover each and everything. Okay, so solution code, there's going summary, learn more, practice on your own. All those things are there. So after that you are done, you just carry on to the next code lab. Okay, after that apart from the video code labs, there are also a quiz. Okay, so it is the quiz. Okay, so what after completing that thing, you need to like give a code quiz to check whatever is your status, how much you are getting or not. Like I want you to answer these questions. Like attend all the quizzes. After that you will also receive a certificate. Also the lots of badges they have. Okay, you can make a Google developer profile. Let me show you the Google developer profile also. Okay, so profile will be like I need to sign in first, I think. Just a second, guys. I will show you the Google developer profile. That after completing these code labs and these things, your Google developer profile will increase, and you will get lots of badges. I think. Okay, I think it will open. Just a second, guys. It's taking a little bit time. Yeah, so it will be like your Gradle profile. You will get the stars, you will get the like badges and lots of badges. You will get whatever like the efforts you are putting in, you will get a badge. Okay, it will make your Google profile a lot bit richer. Okay, so these all are the resources. It is a Kotlin playground. It is a Kotlin. It will be the second track. It is a Kotlin profile. So all these things will be there. All the stuff is there. We will right now just send all those things in the group. And one more thing, guys, we will also conduct a one doubt session on the weekend. Like you guys will carry on from the code lab, and you might get some doubts, might get stuck somewhere. So we will conduct a one doubt session on the Saturday. So let me know first how many of you are interested. Like we should conduct these type of doubt session to help you. It will be on the Google Meet, and it will be a very friendly. Like whatever you are feeling, just let us know. It will be the two-way communication, not like this. So just let me know. We will only do it for you. Take a time from a busy schedule for you guys only. If you are interested only, then only we will conduct that. Yeah, it will be obviously on the Google Meet. Whatever, like today is Tuesday. Okay, you have a time of 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do complete the first track. If not the full, at least do the first unit. Okay, and in the Google Meet, we will discuss all those things, how we are feeling, what are the feedback for us, how we can carry on, whatever the things, it will be a two-way communication. Okay, and on the Sunday, probably we will conduct the second session. Okay, so,
Sir,
Adam,
do we need to tell about Discord server? What?
Yeah, you can tell, ma'am. Yeah, carry on, Mayank.
Okay. So again, everyone, how many of you know about Discord server? Please let me know about it in the chat. Discord server. Okay, there are a lot of people. Okay. Okay, let me tell you that you need to join a Discord server of our own so as to continue the session. I'll be sharing you the link. For the people who don't know about Discord, a Discord server is a website. You need to create your account on it. You can use the your Gmail ID to create an account on Discord server. After creating the account, I'll share you the link of the server. The server is a room where the people connect. Okay, so I'll share you the link, and after you click the link, let me share my screen for a second. So is my screen visible?
No, man. Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay. So as soon as you create your account and open the link, this is what will open. This is a general Discord server window which you'll see. So I have created 5 channels over here. Okay. When you enter newly, you'll get access only to this channel, general. Here, what you have to do is just send a thumbs up so that I can know you are in here. And after that, I'll give you access to all these different 4 channels. So let me explain you the purpose of all these 4 channels. You can see these 4 channels, right? Announcements, task submission, doubts, and gaming. Is it visible, sir, clearly?
Yes, it's visible, man.
Yeah, it's visible, man.
Okay. So these are the 4 channels. The first channel is announcement. Once you send the message in general here, this channel will be available. Send a thumbs up over here so that I can let you in. And then you'll get access to these 4 channels. Okay, the first channel is announcement. Here I have a message. You can read the instructions about it over here. I've sent a message over here. Here we'll do all the different kind of announcements which are related to the Android Study Jam. Then this is the second channel. We'll give you a task every day, small task, not a big deal, very small task, and then you can share your results, like the images or screenshots or code, whatever we ask you, you can share it here. We'll review it, and we'll try to encourage the people who do the best job by appreciating in this group. Okay, and this is the third channel. Here you can submit your doubts. Any doubts you have, you can submit it over here, and we'll try to review it and answer you as soon as possible. And this is a gaming channel. Basically, here we are trying to organize games like Scribble or Among Us for some fun activity in between. We'll let you know about it, about gaming and all those stuff in this channel. Okay. And 2 more things. Number 1 is that all the names which you see in red are the ones who are admins. All the ones whose name you see in blue are the organizers who will be helping us in reviewing you, and all the rest of the participants, their names will appear in green. So there are 3 different roles. Okay. So I'll provide you the link. First, create an account to Discord server. I'll provide you the link, and then just join the channel. And here in this general channel, just send me a thumbs up so that I can give you access to all the other channels. Okay, that's it.
All right, guys. So I think we'll be concluding now. I think Praveen has his network issues are there. So I know, guys, थोड़ा सा heavy रहा होगा आप लोग के लिए, most of you. Like मैं खुद सोच रहा था कि like हाँ थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया first time के लिए, इसको एकदम idea ना हो. But guys, एक चीज समझो आप, we have covered like the entire, मतलब हम सब ऑलमोस्ट ही करने वाले हैं, एंड इट्स समथिंग गुड यार. समझ रहे हो, जब भी ऐसा लगे कि समथिंग डिफिकल्ट इज देयर, कुछ हम मुझसे हो नहीं रहा है, लाइक हमें एकदम से फर्स्ट टाइम समझ नहीं आया, हमें भी किसी को समझ नहीं आया था फर्स्ट टाइम यार. लाइक इट्स नॉट समथिंग ग्रेट कि हर साल बंदे को फर्स्ट टाइम ही समझ आए, हमें भी किसी को नहीं आया था, कभी नहीं आता. सो द पॉइंट हियर इज, तभी आपके लिए ट्रैक्स बनाए गए हैं व्हिच यू कुड फॉलो. आप इसको प्रॉपर्ली फॉलो करो, और जैसे आप फॉलो करते जाओगे ना, आपको समझ आने लगेंगी वो सब चीजें, और स्लोली होती है यार ये चीज बिल्ड. ठीक है, मतलब थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, इसको थोड़ा टाइम दो और प्रॉपर्ली ट्रैक्स फॉलो करो. जैसे आप ट्रैक्स फॉलो करोगे ना, आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आता जाएगा, और एक बार आपने एक आध ट्रैक खत्म कर लिया. हमारे आई थिंक वी हैव टू ट्रैक्स, राइट शिखर एंड मैं?
यस सर, 2 ट्रैक्स.
So we will give you task. अगर आप Discord server भी आप join कर लो, और we will be having 2 more workshops of this in the entire Android Study Jams. प्रवीण, हमारी next workshop कब planned है?
Bro, probably on Sunday.
All right, guys. So we think we'd meet again on Sunday, I suppose. जैसा भी रहेगा, आप लोग and Praveen ये जो tracks की links वगैरह होंगे, how would these guys get it?
I will share it today in the group.
Okay. Guys, so
All the resources will be shared.
मिल जाएंगे. आप उसको start करो एक बार, देखो क्या समझ आ रहा है. मतलब समझ पा रहे हो? It's very basic अगर आप start करोगे उसको. As you will get, as you will practice more and more, आप tracks खत्म करोगे, आपको एक अच्छा hold हो जाएगा over the topics. And अगर आपको लग रहा है कि like आपको programming concept समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो guys वो भी धीमे-धीमे मान लेंगे. थोड़ी practice की बस requirement है. ऐसी कोई rocket science नहीं हो रही इसमें. Simple है, बस थोड़ा time दो उसको. ठीक है? Praveen, anything else? Mayank, Shikhar, आपको कुछ और बोलना चाहिए? Please, it's your
Guys, just I know, like, if you guys just practice and like building some app, you will always get some errors. Okay, without errors you will not learn. Okay, so let me tell you about my story. Like, from I get started, I took, I think, nearly 4 to 5 months to like become make some basic apps. Okay, it took just 4 to 5 months. Like, first I started from C and then Java, and like it also like took only 2 months. Okay, because it was not started from the curriculum. Also, we didn't have like any such seniors which were conducting these workshops. Okay, so you are getting from your first month only that some workshops are conducted. Okay, so think of it like you have 1 month. For the 1 month, we will carry on these type of sessions. After that, if you also like want to carry on and want to continue like learn about the database and all those things, we will teach you on the Google Meet and all those other sessions. We will take it personally for you. So just like show your interest, show your work, and we will also give you tasks. If you are completing, we are seeing like lot of interest, then surely from 3 to 4 sessions, we will make it up to 10 also. It all depends upon your interest. Okay, so just let us know in the chat box how guys you like this session and how you guys are feeling about the upcoming sessions, how much you are excited enough. Just let us know in the chat box. I think that's it. Anything, if I have something to add on?
I want to say something that यार देखो अगर ऑफलाइन करते तो काफी ज्यादा बेटर होता, तुम्हें सारी चीजें दिखती, पीपीटी क्लियर दिखता. ऑब्वियसली ब्लरी हो गया, उसके वजह से काफी चीजें नहीं समझ पाए. बट आई थिंक जो इनपुट दिया हम लोगों ने, अगर आप वो थोड़ा ध्यान में रखें, एंड जो कोर्स ट्रैक है उसकी लिंक भेज देंगे, अब उसको फॉलो करेंगे, उसको अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, एंड देन उसको आगे मतलब एनालाइज करके करेंगे. उसको प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, ऐसे नहीं कि खाली इसको पढ़ के नेक्स्ट दबा दिया. जो भी इसमें इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए हैं उसे खुद फॉलो कीजिए. डाउट्स आए तो डिस्कॉर्ड सर्वर में मैंने डाउट चैनल बना रखा है, वहाँ पे आप फ्री है, वहाँ पे डाउट्स पूछिए, उसको सॉल्व कीजिए, आप डेफिनेटली समझ जाएंगे. एंड ऑफलाइन होता तो डेफिनेटली बेटर होता, बट अब क्या करें, ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा. सो
एंड गाइस, ग्रुप है, ग्रुप के अंदर आपका एंड्रॉइड स्टडी जैम्स है, उसके अंदर हम 4 एडमिन है. आपको चारों के, हमारे उस टाइम पे ग्रुप एडमिन है, चारों के कॉन्टेक्ट नंबर है. जिससे भी आपको लग रहा है कोई भी डाउट है, फील फ्री टू आस्क एनीथिंग एट एनी टाइम. Whatever you doubt have, whether it is silly or anything, and any relevant, if you need guidance of any senior, irrelevant of like, if you want to become a like web developer also, then also like just let us know. We will connect you with some wonderful web developers in our college, and you can get a very good guidance. Apart from that, like anything you have, just feel free to ask.
Guys, we'll be conducting week of learning sooner or later, as I think you all have, I have had circulated something. I know आप लोगों को मिल गया होगा वो चीज. So हमारा next month January पूरा dedicated होने वाला है over all the domains, including machine learning, then आपका web development, Android तो चली गया है ना, UI UX development, product designing, even competitive coding कैसे start करें वगैरह. We would have weekends reserved for all these activities the entire month of January. At the end of January, we'll be having an hackathon जिसमें आप लोग participate कर सकते हैं, and it will be a great experience for you guys. So उसके लिए भी आप थोड़ा Discord से भी अपने आप को वाकिफ करिए. Like Discord is something new for you. जब एक बार जाइए, देखिए, उसको समझिए. And एक और चीज, अगर आपको अगर आप Discord से नहीं, आप मतलब आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रही इनिशियली और आपको क्वेश्चंस या डाउट्स आ रहे हैं, तो उसमें भी कोई इशू नहीं है, हमारा फ्री बना हुआ है, कोई डाउट्स वहां पे डाल सकते हैं. बट प्रेफरेबल लगेगा अगर डिस्कॉर्ड पे डालोगे, वहां पे आपके डॉट्स प्रॉपर्ली सॉर्ट आउट होंगे और सारे सीनियर्स अच्छे डील कर पाएंगे इसको. बट आप व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे वगैरह भी डाल सकते हो. बाकी आपको और भी कुछ सीखना है, मैंने बोला वेब डेवलपमेंट या फिर किसी भी डोमेन में कोई भी चीज हो, तो उसके लिए we'll be conducting a workshop sooner or later, like next month पे होगी. The dates would be finalized in the first week of Jan, the next week. So that's all from my side at least. And I know, first I would like to apologize for all the blurry screens and all that. The PPTs would be shared to you, and so would be the course tracks. So you don't have to worry about anything. बस यार एक चीज बोलूंगा, just get started. That's the only way of progressing in this domain or any domain. बस शुरू हो जाओ, धीमे धीमे आगे बढ़ो. You'll learn a thing or two and you'll gain experience. जितना एक्सपीरियंस गेन करोगे यार, उतनी आगे तक जा पाओगे. आराम से हो जाएगा. एक बार स्टार्ट करना मुश्किल लगेगा. आई नो जिसको एकदम ही कोडिंग ना आते हो, उसको कोटलिन की कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स अगर जैसे हम लोग पीपीटी में जल्दी फंक्शंस में बता रहे तो शायद उसको थोड़ी सी डिफिकल्टी होगी. सो कुछ चीजें आप लोग हमारे साथ लाइक कोप अप करो, लाइक स्टार्ट करो थोड़ा सा, और जो भी डाउट्स आती है आप हमसे पूछो. ऑलराइट guys, so आप लोग बस कंक्लूड करो. That's it from my side. Just one thing else कि like guys थोड़ी ठंड बढ़ भी रही है, ख्याल रखना, and New Year is coming. So happy New Year in advance. बाकी guys आप लोग please Praveen and Mayank and Shikhar please conclude it.
Yes.
Yeah,
One more thing, guys. You will get the download link soon, so you can download it from there. And if any problem arises while downloading or anything, then you can let us know. And I just showed you how to create a project and basically get started. You can explore it more and then try yourself. First of all, you will face some certain difficulties. You can Google about it, because if I tell about myself, when I started learning, I attended similar workshop, but it was a rather smaller one. Also, we were not getting any hands-on course in it, but it was a great one. We learned a lot of stuffs there. But then I started building an app. I started making things, and daily I had so many errors. And then I used to go Google and find how to correct it before asking to somebody. So first try to troubleshoot it yourself. First try to Google it, how to suppose add an image in Android app or anything, any doubt that you are having. And if you are still having it, you are not able to solve it, we are you are most welcome to ask your doubts in the doubt channel of Discord or in the WhatsApp group, or DM us, call us, whatever you feel like. But I assure you, if you start diving deeper in Android, you will love it so much that you will start getting more and more ideas and building more and more stuff. And who knows, maybe you can win a bigger competition. And so all the best, guys. And I'm very excited to see you in the next session. And I hope that we stay connected with more enthusiasm till 25th January. Okay, so over to sir. Thank you.
Guys, might be like group is full, but we will share one more link. So don't worry. You can also join our Telegram group, in which also like we will share like lots of all the updates, all the resources, and all those things. But be comfortable in joining the Discord server. Here also we will share all the stuff. Okay, if anyone have any doubt, anything, then you can ask here, or like I know you guys have just tired from attending the class from the morning, so you can also leave. If anyone has doubt, just write it in the chat box, and we will
Guys,
answer all those questions.
Generally, the app development is done on laptop. I don't think any proper apps are there for developing it on the phone. And अगर आप में से किसी, I hope आप सबने kind of laptop ले लिया होगा, या कोई प्लान कर रहा है इसने भी नहीं लिया है, प्लीज चैट बॉक्स में टाइप कर दो. We can give even small guidance कि आप किस तरह का लैपटॉप लो. अभी like 5-10 minutes में हम फिर एंड कर रहे हैं सेशन. इसलिए अगर if you haven't bought any laptop, you can just type yes in the chat box.
No, guys, you don't need a graphic card in your laptop to run Android Studio, but it's better to have, you can just skip it also. You need actually, I will suggest if you are buying it now, then buy a laptop with some good specifications, like prefer SSD over hard disk.
Guys,
okay, it will speed up your computer.
Guys, sorry Praveen to interrupt.
Yeah, carry on, Adam.
I was saying, guys, if you're buying laptop, like abhi aap first year mein ho, you'll be graduating in 2024. If you're buying a laptop, just make sure ek point ka, let it be future proof. Just I have said before also, kam se kam next 4-5 years you don't have to buy another laptop. ऐसा ना लगे आपको. So थोड़ा future proof लीजिए. So I would prefer कि अगर आप i5 Ryzen 5 अगर प्रोसेसर में ले पाए and SSD ले पाए in storage rather than an HDD, so it would be great. You would get very kind of budget laptops अगर इन those settings को आप देके चलो. And graphic card is not at all required अगर आपको लग रहा है ऐसा. बस ये दो चीज अगर ध्यान देंगे तो your laptop would be quite future proof and you would experience no problem in anything. Just अगर आप प्रोसेसर आप कोशिश करिएगा i5 लिए या फिर Ryzen 5 और storage में take in prefer SSD over an HDD.
And we will be sharing everything in Telegram group,
Yeah.
guys. So no need to worry.
5 badges.
Whenever you complete a track pathway, which is called as, then you'll get a badge. Okay, so like when we opened the unit 1, there were 4 pathways, right? If you complete one of the pathways, then you'll get a badge. So that is what a badge means.
Shikhar, I just
Yes,
wanted you to tell them one thing. Like some of them were having trouble. What if we buy a MacBook? Would we face any problems?
Okay.
You are quite experienced.
Yes. Basically, I'm a MacBook user, so I didn't face any certain issue. Though there are some certain softwares, they were using one in our lab, in our electricals lab. So that software was not available for MacBook. There I faced certain problem, but there are only very few softwares nowadays which are not available for MacBook, and they are available for Windows. Otherwise, if you personally ask me, if you are working, if you are focusing on working more on professional work and lesser on enjoying stuff like watching movies or playing games, if you are more focused on professional working, then MacBook provides the best user interface, and it helps you. It makes things so easy for you that you start liking to more and more work, and still you don't feel any strain. So there are certain benefits with Mac and certain benefits with Windows.
Thank you so much, Shikhar. So
Yeah, guys, really like prefer. I think for this question, you should prefer 512 GB SSD. I think like 1 TB SSD will also work. Like you can install lots of movies and all this stuff. But other than that, you can carry external hard disk. 512 GB is also enough actually. Just watch the movie and delete it. For the projects, you will don't need it. You can upload it on GitHub. All your stuff, all the coding profile, all the projects just store it in GitHub. So it's a fine 512 GB SSD.
And no need to worry,
Any
guys.
questions
We
anyone have?
will be introducing you with GitHub and Firebase and all other big
Yeah.
words I used our seniors used or Mayank used. We will be getting you familiar with it. So you just need to stay connected and get more enthusiastic. We will play more games also. So it will be a very fun holding journey. So stay tuned and see you in the next session. That's all from my side.
And guys, let me tell you, you will be the ones from you, like 4 to 5 people who will be the conducting the workshop for the next upcoming 2021 batch, 2022 batch. Okay, so stay tuned. Like you will become a better Android developer. Just stay tuned with us for next month.
yes, guys, I would like to emphasize on that. Like exactly 1 year ago, I think, around 8-9 months ago, Shikhar and
Yes, sir.
Mayank were sitting right where you are right now and attending this workshop, which was being conducted by me and Praveen and 2 other friends of us. And now they are with us here telling you all these stuff. Next year, we won't be there, but you would be there, I suppose, along with Shikhar and Mayank. Giving this workshop to your juniors. So do something that like of that level so that you would be giving it next year. All right. So we have
And that too in the guys.
Yeah, Praveen.
In the 2020, I think in the February, they were attending the Android boot camp with us,
Yes, sir.
and sitting in front of us, learning, solving doubts. We were asking them. It was like offline, obviously. Right now it is going online. We can't like get solve your doubts a lot, but we will try. We will conduct a doubt session on Saturday as well. So please cover up as much as you can in the next 3 days, and we will solve all your doubts from installing your Android Studio to building your first app. Okay, guys, I think you guys are all tired, and just
Yeah, let's leave.
stay safe.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
end it for today. All right. I think we all are done right now. So let's end it for today. We'll meet soon, guys, probably on Sunday. And as Praveen and all are like Mayank and Shikhar said, cover as much as possible. Or guys, take your time. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कह रहे हैं जल्दी पूरा finish कर दो, ध्यान से देखो भी नहीं. Take your time, learn the concepts, but try to थोड़ा time invest करो उस पे. It's a great thing to learn something new. Always याद रखना. It always expands your intuition, your brain. Learning anything new is the best experience. All right. So just try, learn something new. It would be great for you. And developing an app, like it's कौन phone नहीं use करता मुझे बताना एक बार आप. Everyone uses phone first of all, और apps are like new big thing. Like कुछ भी बना सकते हो आप apps में. That's it from my side. Let's end it for today. Take care, guys. Stay healthy and Corona
Just,
जाने वाला है.
one thing, guys, I am stopping the recording. Stopping the recording, and you will get the link for that. Stop. Yeah. No, it is not stopped. Stop session.
Let me do it.
I think it will end by the time we
I
will stop the
stopped it,
recording.
I think.
You stop recording this session.
Yeah, I stopped it. I'll stop it. Praveen.
Adam, are you getting this option?
I stopped it.
Okay, fine, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we should end it now.
Let's end this. Praveen,
Okay,
should I
guys. Bye-bye.
end the entire
Thanks
meeting?
all.
End the event for all? Should I end the
Yeah.
event for all? Okay, guys. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you,
All
guys.
the best.
Yeah.
I think, guys, it's not, Praveen, I think date or time, it's not